Hey, what's going on, Miami Dolphins fans? Welcome back to the Fins Up Network. And what a busy day Wednesday was. We had Chris Grier media availability. We had Tua Tagovailoa media availability for the pre-draft stuff. We have Deebo Samuel requesting a trade out of San Francisco. It's been rumored for a while now, but he officially made it official. So let's just dive right in. We got a lot to cover today. So Chris Greer's, we'll start with his pre-draft media availability. And the first question essentially brought up to him was the whole Tom Brady situation. And I get it. The reporter's got to ask. It's going to be the clicks. It's going to drive. It's what the question is. They knew they weren't going to get an answer. He essentially brushed it off, said, "Hey, we're here to talk draft. We're here to talk about current players on the team. We're not getting into Tom Brady." So that came and went very quick. But it was kind of funny because we went from serious to all of a sudden, well, what are you going to do on draft day? You don't have a first or a second round pick, and they had made a joke about, "Hey, we got Tyreek Hill. We're going to watch Tyreek Hill highlights." So I think that's what we should do as Dolphins fans. Let's just go all in. You know what? Let me go back to Chris Grier real quick, because let's not think he's just going to watch Tyreek Hill. He's going to listen to offers. If someone falls, they're potentially going to make offers. But I think that's what we should do. We should just be watching Tyreek Hill highlights, because that's our first and second round pick right now, Dolphins fans. So we just got to enjoy it from there. But don't worry, Chris Grier will be working. He'll be working the phones. That's what he'll be doing on draft day. But then he was asked about DeVante Parker. Said they heard offers from multiple teams. End of the day, the New England Patriots just happened to give the best offer. And you could tell that, you know what? We don't really want to trade him inside of the division. Last time that happened, Wes Welker kind of situation. He goes on as a borderline Hall of Fame career. Wouldn't want to do that. But hey, you're not going to sacrifice getting a better package for a player just to keep him out of the division. We've talked about that ad nausea by now, but also good to hear Chris Grier say it. And then towards the end of his press conference, he was asked about other coaches, other head coach candidates that they brought in for interviews, and their commitment level to Tua, what they saw from the team starting quarterback. And he said every coaching candidate they talked to believed in, and they said that they could win with Tua Tagovailoa as the starting quarterback. Again, this is what Chris Grier has to say. He has to give in quotes, the coach speak. He has to say that. However, I think it's safe to say that people around the league understand that Tua really hasn't been put in a great position to succeed. And they know that with Miami having the draft capital, with having the money in free agency, that, hey, we can build around this guy. We can get him an offensive line. We can get him playmakers and skill position players that he hasn't had before. We can win with this guy. So great, after all the Flores stuff, to hear Chris Grier just come out and say all that, music to Dolphins fans' ears. But let's transition into Tua Tagovailoa's media availability. So he was asked early on, kind of the feel, how is everything coming with the Mike McDaniel-led offense? And he stressed, it's been 2 days. Let's not get too crazy, but he did mention that it's similar to what he ran at Bama, and said a lot of the similarities make it a bit easier in regards to the verbiage. Everything goes into more than just like this guy's running a 9 route. This guy's running a wheel route as the running back. The slot receiver is running a quick in. There's more to than just drawing up the plays. It's the verbiage. It's getting everybody lined up, and that's going to take some time. And Tua addressed that and said, hey, we need all the practice we can get. But the fact that we did a lot of this kind of stuff in Bama is only going to help. And we've seen this is kind of great, because we've seen some video clips that the Miami Dolphins social media team has put out. And one main thing that I noticed is the whole quarterback under center, the half pass, the halfback toss play and cut back. We saw it all the time with the 49ers. They used it with their running backs. They used it with Deebo Samuel. It's definitely going to be implemented. We're already seeing it in Miami. So that's pretty exciting. They asked Tua about the Brian Flores situation, the firing. He obviously didn't want to get into that topic. He did say that he was thankful that Flo was part of the reason that the Dolphins drafted him, and that he got the opportunity to play for the Dolphins, essentially saying all the PC things. But you could tell just a couple of little shots fired just based on the words that he used. But Tua's not the guy to outright throw a guy under the bus. He's not going on these public media tours. He's not going to do kind of like the Baker Mayfield side of things and defend himself. He's the team first kind of guy, and that's what we've grown used to out of Tua. He's going to be a stand-up citizen, for lack of a better term at this point in time. And hopefully it translates and goes onto the field from here on out. But they also talked about his relationship with Coach McDaniel. And you can already tell that McDaniel is more of a player's coach than Flo ever tried to be. He said that Mike McDaniel will get mad when Tua has players over and coach isn't invited. And they were saying, well, you can't hang out with the coach. And Tua's basically this guy, we can't. This guy, he's one of us. He is a player's coach. Everyone's seeming to get along very well, at least for now. Obviously, we haven't really dove into the season too much, but things are starting out on the right foot for the Dolphins here. They also talked about things that they've watched so far. They've watched film and things that they've worked on so far. Said that they've rewatched 150 clips of throws, some good throws, some bad throws, identifying what's been working, what can we build on, and hey, what hasn't worked, what can we improve, what do we need to work on. He noted that his footwork and a lot of those fundamentals, and we've seen people talking about it, that towards the end of the season, he got a little off with his footwork, but improving on that, making the right throws, and moving from there. So it's good to see that they've been working hand in hand on these type of things. But one quote I wanted to pull out of this, because I think it's a great quote, and I just love it, and it's very obvious, but it's great to hear them say it. We want to yak the hell out of teams. With guys like Tyreek, with guys like Waddle, that's 100% what needs to happen. I said this in a video or a comment recently. I can't remember which it was, but I expect the catches to be down for everybody. We're not going to see Waddle out here setting records with these 100+ catches. They're going to be spread out, but we're going to see more chunk yardage. We're going to see more yards per catch, yards after the catch. We're truly going to play to Tua's and the team's strengths. One other thing that Tua had talked about here before we move on to the Deebo Samuel topic, he talked about cold weather throwing, the struggles in Buffalo, the struggles in Tennessee the last couple of years. Said he went to visit his brother who plays football at the University of Maryland, used that time to throw in the cold, throw in the snow. And hopefully this is just the start of that. This isn't something that you can just practice once and all of a sudden, hey, I've got it figured out. I threw in the snow one day and I'm good to go now. We got to have more trips. We got to have more cold weather practices scheduled. And I know the time of the year isn't great for that. Maybe he can go to some other country, go down to Antarctica, see what the hell you can find down there to throw at. But there's got to be more to it than that. But wrapping this up, I want to transition into the Deebo Samuel requesting a trade report, because we heard the report from Ian Rappaport and others out there that it's not just about the money. He simply wants out of San Francisco at this point in time. San Francisco wants to pay him. He just doesn't want to be there. The report is he doesn't feel comfortable with his usage, which seems odd because typically it's as for a receiver, me. Keyshawn Johnson, throw me the damn ball. I want the ball. Sounds like he's almost like it's a bit of overkill. I'm being used too much. But other than that, he really hasn't given a reason for why he wants out. So how do the Dolphins factor into this? Everyone loves the idea of Deebo because the Mike McDaniel connection. We saw the two of them out to dinner earlier this offseason. We know that they're tight. We know that they work well together. And additionally, and this is obvious, it's human nature as a football fan. You love the idea of Waddle, Tyreek, Deebo. It's Madden. But it's Madden with the salary cap turned off. It would be unreal. You can't have two top 5 paid wide receivers, essentially, because Tyreek's already got the most guaranteed money for a wide receiver. And wherever Deebo gets traded, if he does, still big if, they'll have to redo his contract. You're not just going to trade him and then just have him be a free agent right away. You're going to redo that contract, and he's likely going to become a top 5-ish paid wide receiver as well. Miami already has Xavier Howard as a top paid cornerback. They just paid the guys in free agency, Emmanuel Ogbah, Mike Gesicki on the franchise tag, Teron Armstead, numerous others. Just don't see this happening from a financial standpoint. We can dream, but we have to look reality dead in the eyes and realize that this Deebo thing likely won't become a reality in Miami, at least for this offseason. Rappaport mentioned the Jets, the Packers, the Chiefs, and the Lions as the teams to keep an eye on in this. But hell of a day. Like I said, we had a lot going on, but I hope you we're able to at least summarize the day in this 10 minutes here. And let me know your thoughts on the day as well, Dolphins fans. Continue to subscribe, like, tell your friends, do everything you can. Let's grow this puppy. Let's get up to that 1,000 subs. We just hit a 500 recently. We're on the quest to 1,000. So thanks again for the time, Dolphins fans. And until then, we will see you later.